Guys, JK Tabletop Wargames. So before I start this battle report, I just want to say thanks for all the support and the new subscribers. I'm a bit overwhelmed, to be honest. So I really appreciate everyone's comments and supports, all your advice. Take it on board, and thanks for helping my channel and helping it grow. So before I start, I want to show you guys I've finished the table. So it's all complete. Have the plough field, this built up area with the Tudor house, ruined house that's taken fire from artillery, just a normal little house. So that's like a little courtyard area, and then the road leads down to this end. So for the battle, what we've done is, me and my old man played last night. Unfortunately, I didn't film it, so this is going to be a game where I play solo, but it would be the same scenario. The French won. We had an awesome game, and we've added in some really cool rules, which I'll go through in a minute. So what we've done is split up, like we did in the last battle report, the units, so we get more. So these are in an attack column, and so on. And the same with the British side. So we've got the chasseurs, 2 attack columns, French cannon, another 2 attack columns and chasseurs, a general on horse and a general on foot. And then if I come over to the British side, we have British line infantry in a full deep line, British line, commander on foot, Hanoverians in a line, general on horse, Hanoverians in a full deep line in the plough field along with the cannon, and then another full deep line over there. In reserve is more British infantry and the dragoons. So for the special rules, at the start of each turn we have to roll a dice to see if the buildings catch fire, to represent that there's a lot of artillery fire coming into the village. So on a 6, the buildings catch fire. So if it catches fire 4 times, then any troops in this area or in the buildings have to vacate and take a break test. So that's one of the rules. And then the other rule is that the French have 4 cannons off the table artillery. It's in one of the scenarios in Albion Triumphant, I think it's called. I'll probably pronounce that wrong. So they get 4 cannons they can shoot with, but they're at long range. And then the British get 2 of those cannons, and then they can roll 2 more dice to see if they get an extra 2 cannons. On 4 pluses, they will be able to fire 2 more cannons. So I'll do the command phase. In fact, I'll roll off quickly, guys. So the British are going to be the red and the French will be the green. So we'll see who goes first. So the French will have the first turn. So I will come back after I've done the French command phase. Okay, the British turn 1 command phase. This attack column got 1 move up. Second roll was a blunder. So these guys had to move 1 move to its right, which was okay. So they're tucked in behind this column. I then had to move over to my general on horse to issue orders. The Hanoverians got 3 moves, but they had to minus a bit off their movement to clamber over the hedges and fence into the village. They still got their casualty. I couldn't move the cannon because it's disordered. Hanoverians over there got 3 moves into a line, and these guys failed. So I'm going to do some shooting with the off the table artillery. So first thing we do, we'll see if the other 2 cannons can fire. So on 4s, No, so I'm only going to be able to fire 2 cannons that are off of the table. So the first cannon is going to go into this attack column. So on a 5, yes, disordered them. So they're disordered and they need to make 1 save of -1. So it'll be on a 5. No, so they take a casualty as well. So take that, French, as you beat me last night and I wasn't happy about that. So, and then the second shot, you can have 2 shots into 1 unit with 1 cannon. So we'll go at them again on a 5. And we hit again. So they'll be saving on a 5. Yeah, they saved it. Okay, and then over here, the disordered cannon is going to make a long range shot at the column behind the hedge. Now, the target is not clear because he's going to be shooting through the trees and over the hedge. So it's going to be on a 6. So we'll see if we get it. No, they missed. Nothing else is in range for shooting, so it's going to go into the French turn 2 command phase. And we will just roll a dice to see if the buildings catch fire in the French turn 2. No. Okay. Okay, the French turn 2 command phase. Chasseurs managed 1 move. So they've moved up. Couldn't issue this attack column to move up. These guys got 3 moves. So they are going to be taking a shot at the Hanoverians, which were disordered by artillery off of the table artillery. And they took a casualty as well. These guys failed behind the hedge, which meant we moved over to this commander. Chasseurs got 3 moves, and this attack column got 3 moves as well. And the cannon stayed where it is. So I've already pre-measured. The French cannon will take a long-range shot into the Hanoverians in the village. So on a 5. Yeah, they get it. So they're going to be -1 to their save, saving on a 5. No, so they take a casualty, and they are shaken, and that will be a test because they're shaken by artillery. Oh no. And that is a victory point for the French because they have caused 1 unit to be shaken. So, the test, no minuses, 2d6. Let's re-roll that because that is cocked. 6, 7, 8. Unit holds its ground. So they're fine. Okay, that was risky. Now, 1 shot from this column into these guys, so they'll be hitting on a 4, which they do. They need to save on a 4+, the Hanoverians, which they do. And then these Hanoverians, these French in this attack column, 1 dice into the Hanoverians, hitting on a 4. And they hit, and they need to save a 4+, and they do. So that is it for the shooting. The Hanoverians already shaken, so the Brits took a bit of a bashing there. So I will go into the Brits command phase turn 2, and we'll see if the buildings catch fire now. No. Fine. So British turn 2 command phase. The attack column managed to get 3 moves. They moved over the plough field, clambered over the fence into the built up area. The cannon, not disordered anymore, made 1 move out of the field. These guys failed. These guys failed. So, sorry, no, they failed, and they both failed. So, we're going to fire the artillery that's off of the table. So the first artillery will go into this unit again. So on a 5. Nope, the second one doesn't hit, and then we're rolled to see if the 2 other cannons can fire. They both can. So we've got 4 and a 5, so they both fire. So I will fire into this column here. So the first one, nope, misses. Second one, hits them and disordered them. So it's good shooting from the cannon. So they're disordered. They need to make a save of 5, which they don't, so they take a casualty. So the French are starting to take some casualties now. Okay, so the Hanoverians in a line are going to fire into the French column, attack column, on 3 dice. They're shaken and disordered, so we're going to be hitting them on 5s. We missed, but oh no, they don't have that rule. So the British 4 deep line, they get 2 dice. They're going to shoot into the same column, so they will be hitting on 4s. 1 hit, a disorder. They're already disordered, so a bit of save of 4+ for the French, which they'd made. And now this line over here into this column, hitting on 4s. They disordered them. 1 hit, because that is a 3 round there. So the French will make their save of 4. Nope, they fail, so they've taken a casualty marker as well. Then we have the cannon here. It's going to fire into that attack column. Now he will get 2 dice at medium range, hitting on 4s. Wow, missed them both. So that's some rubbish shooting from the British cannon there. So that is it, no hand-to-hand combat. So on the British turn 3, we will roll for reserves, and on a 4+, we'll be able to bring in each squad. So we will go into turn 3 for the French, and as usual, we will see if this building catches fire. Nope, it's fine. So the French turn 3 command phase. Chasseurs attempted to charge this 4 deep line with 3 moves, but didn't get it. They got 1 move up. Couldn't do anything with these guys. They took a shot in the shooting phase at the Hanoverians, but they hit, but the Hanoverians saved. This attack column tried to form a line, but they failed. But they had a shot into the Hanoverians over there and caused a casualty. Chasseurs here attempted to charge the cannon. Failed, but they got 2 moves, so they've moved right in front of the cannon at close range, which isn't good news for them. These guys failed again. They like it behind this bush, so they're just staying there. And the cannon failed. Cannon took a shot at long range and missed. So I will go into the British turn 3 command phase. So we'll see if the buildings catch fire. Just grab a dice. On a 6. No, so it's fine. Okay, so shooting from the Brits in the turn 3, they've shot into this column. They've got 2 more casualties and they've been disordered again. And this attack column was disordered again, but that was from artillery fire off of the board. They've been disordered over there with 2 casualties, and the chasseurs took 2 casualties and were disordered. So they were disordered by the cannon and took 1 casualty, and then the line that's just come on fired into them and caused 1 casualty. So that is it for the shooting of turn 3 for the Brits. In their command phase, Hanoverians did try to get into this building, which they couldn't, and these guys moved up into a line, shot at point blank, but didn't cause any casualties. And these guys are still at the back of the board, and the Dragoons failed to come on. So it will be turn 4 for the French. So we'll see if that building catches fire again. Nope, it's fine. So into turn 4. Turn 4 for the French. The chasseurs have charged this British infantry. They've been forced into a square. They're not disordered though, so they couldn't charge home. These guys managed to move over the hedge. They attempted to form a line, but they only got 1 move. And and everything else was disordered. So I couldn't issue any orders to anything else. But artillery from off the board fired at the Hanoverians, caused casualty. They took a brake test, but they were -1 on their brake test, but they were fine. Unit holds its ground, so they're fine. And then this column took a shot at them, failed, missed. This column took a shot, missed, and the cannon fired at them from long range and missed. So it's going to be turn 4 for the British, and I will come back once they've done the command phase. Okay guys, things are kicked off a bit now. So the British artillery from off the board fired into both of these units, disordered both of them, and they both had to take a brake test. These guys held their ground. These guys had to move back because they were up here. They had to move back one full move. They're both disordered. The Dragoons came on a 4+, and I rolled whether 1 or 2. 1 to 3 would be this edge of the board, and anything else would be this edge of the board. So they came in this edge of the board, and they got 3 moves. So they are looking to charge home into a disordered square in a minute. Well, not this turn, next turn, hopefully. So the Hanoverians charged into that column over there. The Hanoverians here managed to make 1 move into the building. So they are now in that building, and they've got +2 save. Finally managed to move these guys up into a line. So first thing we're going to do is shooting. So 3 shots from the building, shooting into the chasseurs down here. So hitting on 4s. We disordered them, and we got 2 hits. So they will make their saves of 3+. They failed 1. So that is a casualty marker for them, and a disorder marker as well. So they're not going to be able to try and charge into the Brits now. And then we will have 1 shot from the square, this facing into them as well. On a 4. Nope, he missed. And then these guys will fire into the chasseurs, but it's not a clear target, so they're going to be, I'll give them 2 dice off that line, but on 5s because it's not a clear target. So we'll see what we get. But they can re-roll this because they've got sharpshooter. They can re-roll one of these misses. So that one hits. We can re-roll this because of sharpshooter, and they're already disordered. So 2 hits, and now saving on 3s. They saved them both, so they're fine. 3 shots from this line into the column coming up the way, hitting on 4s. 3 hits. They need to make saves of 4+. They failed 2, so they take 2 markers. Things are definitely kicking off a bit now. So they've got 2. Then point blank range over here into the chasseurs, hitting on 3s. 3 shots, hitting on 3s. So they need to make their saves of 3s for the chasseurs. They saved them all, they're fine. So we've got hand-to-hand combat over here. So the Hanoverians get 6 dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They charge, so they will be hitting on 3s. Only 2 hits. That was a terrible roll. So the saves for the French on 4s. Saved them both. Okay, this isn't good. And then the French will get their attacks back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They'll be hitting on 4s because they didn't charge. So they get 2 hits as well. Okay, so it's going to be 2 saves for the Hanoverians on 4s. Failed 1 or 2. So they take a casualty marker. So they're now on 2. Okay. So it's going to be into turn 5 for the French. We'll see if this building catches fire. It does. The building catches fire. So if it catches fire 3 more times, then they have to evacuate the area. So I'll come back after the French have done their command phase. Sorry guys, forgot to say the Hanoverians lost the combat. They had to take a break test and they've just rolled double one. So they've been destroyed. So that's 2 more victory points to the French. So it's not looking good so far. So there you go. Okay, so turn 5. Both of these units disordered. Couldn't issue any orders to them. These guys managed to make 1 move and form a line. Chasseurs attempted to charge over here. They failed. And these guys attempted to form a line and they failed. So the artillery off the board, we had 2 shots going into the building. 1 hit, but they made their save because they got +2 save, -1 to it, they still made it. And the other cannons shot at the square and they caused 1 casualty. They got +1 for shooting at them in the square. So we are going to do some shooting from this line into the guys there. But it's not a clear target, so they're going to be hitting on 5s. So here we go, shooting at this line from the French. Nothing. They missed all of them. Then we will get, so I'll just walk around here, excuse the camera work. This column will shoot into these guys. So they are going to be hitting on 4s. Sorry, 1 dice, not 3. On a 4. They hit, and the British will make a save of 4+, which they don't, so they take a casualty marker. So we haven't got any more hand-to-hand combat. So things are looking good for the French and okay for the Brits at the moment. So at the end of the game, forgot to mention, if you've got your units inside this area, you get 6 victory points, but you can't have a unit within 4 inches of it. So an enemy unit, sorry, within 4 inches. So the British need to try and do something here. So I'll go into the Brits command phase and come back after that. Guys, turn 5 for the British. The buildings have now caught fire twice, so 2 more times and there will be problems. This line moved up. The square that was here had multiple break tests. They had a break test from the artillery that was off the board. They were fine. They had a break test from... Oh no, sorry, they had a break test from this line infantry. They were fine. And then they had a break test from the cannon and they rolled a 4, so they were gone. And they'd been forced into a square by the dragoons that got their charge off. So the shooting here caused this unit to be shaken, and we disordered the chasseurs over here. Chasseurs, they made their saves though, so they're fine. So the last thing I've got to do is shoot with the Hanoverians from the building, and they are going to shoot into the chasseurs that are down here. So they'll be hitting on 4s. 1 hit, chasseurs will save on 3. They do, so they're fine. So it'll be into the French turn 6. Okay, so turn 6 for the French. The column formed into a line, shot into the British line, and they missed with every shot. These guys shot this line and caused a casualty. They were shaken, so had -1 to their shooting, but they were at point blank, so it's pushed to a 4. These guys shot at the British line over there and caused a casualty. The artillery from off the table missed every single hit. They fired twice into the building and then twice into the square. In the command phase, the French failed their order. So as it stands at the moment, the British have five victory points and the French have 5 victory points. And we are going to go into turn 6 for the British, and then we will play one more turn and see who gets victory. So turn 6 now for the British. Okay guys, turn 6 for the British, command phase. These guys moved up in a line. Hanoverians are still in the building. These guys, British Line Infantry, charged the French, but they took 2 casualty markers from closing fire, so they were shaken, which gave a point to the French. And this line made one move up here towards this line. And then, from my 2 cannons, I didn't get the other 2 cannons that were off of the board, we made this unit shaken. So they had a break test, but they're fine. And the Brits got a victory point. So it's 6-all at the moment in points. And after this, they've got 1 turn each left. So we're going to do some shooting now. So the Hanoverians, hanging out the windows, shooting their muskets into the chasseurs. And, oh, actually, just bear with me, guys. I just want to see the range. I've got 18-inch range here. Oh, yeah. No, they're going to shoot out that main window into the French line that's shaken. So we're going to be hitting on 4s. Come on. 2 hits. So the French need to make 2 saves of 4s. They failed 1. So they're going to be taking another break test. So they got -1. Now, this British Line Infantry are going to shoot into them. So we will be hitting on 4s. All 3 hit. So they need to make saves of 4s. Look at that. 3 6s. French love it. As there is just clouds of smoke and musket fire all over the place. So a break test quickly for these, because no one else is going to be able to fire into them. So they are going to be -1 on their result, which we will roll here. -1 on the result. 4, 5, 6, -1 is 5. 5 from shooting. The unit retires 1 full move to its rear and becomes disordered. Okay, so that casualty marker comes off and they move back 9 inches, because that's the range of movement I've done for this table. So they move back to there, but not destroyed unit yet, which is annoying for the Brits. But this is good. We pushed them away from the village. So just when the French thought they were going to be yelling out, "Long live France, the farmhouse is ours," hopefully it's not going to happen. So the rest of the shooting from the square, 1 shot into the chasseurs. Yeah, it hits because it's point blank, and they will save on a 3, which they do, they're fine. And then the last bit of shooting will be that line into that line. So we will be hitting on 4s. 2 hits. 2 saves of 4+ for the French. They have failed 1. Failed 2. So they're going to be taking a break test. And they are now shaken. So that's a victory point for the British. Just put that down there. And they take a casualty marker, like so, and they will do their break test now. So -1 on the result. Can we get rid of this unit? -1 on the result. Yes, we can. A 4, 5, -1 is 4. So that's another unit destroyed. So that's another 2 victory points to the British. They're starting to take a lead now, the Brits. They've pulled it around a bit. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. British have 9, French have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'll just get rid of these French, like so, because they've been shot to pieces by the British infantry. So, hand-to-hand combat now, here. So the British will get 6 dice, 4, 5, 6, and we will be hitting on 3s because we made the charge. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 hits, so 4 saves for the French on 4s. They failed 2, so they take 2 casualty markers. So they've gone 2 over their stamina now, like so. And then they will attack back, and they will get 6 dice, and they will be hitting on, normally on 4s, but they're shaken, so they will be hitting on 5s. And they have 2 hits. There's a 5 round the corner. So 2 saves for the British on 4s. They fail 1. So the British won that combat because they caused 2 casualties and the French caused 1. So the French need to take a break test, and it'll be -2 off their result here because they're 2 over their stamina. So we'll see what happens. 5, 6 -2 is 4. They've been destroyed. So that is 2 more victory points to the British. Oh my god, the French infantry have been cut to pieces. Bayonets and men screaming as they go down. So that is 2 more victory points to the British. So they have turned it round, and as it stands at the moment, they're going to get 6 more victory points from this village, unless the French in their last turn can get within 4 inches. We'll see what happens, but that was a really good turn for the British. So we're going into the last turn for the French. Will the buildings catch fire? No, nearly. Okay, into the French command phase. Okay guys, the game has ended, and it is a massive victory for the British. So they have 19 victory points in total, because they had no more enemy units, infantry. Cavalry doesn't count. Infantry units within 4 inches of this village, and the Hanoverians are inside the buildings, so they control it. The last French infantry unit was destroyed. They failed their break test from firing from the Hanoverians out the windows. So the Brits had 19 and the French had 6. It was a great game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the table. I've got a game with my brother-in-law on Friday, which I will be filming. So I'll have an opponent that turn, but I've tried my best to make it enjoyable for you guys. So we'll just have a little look at the battlefield and see what's left. Yeah, so at one point it looked dodgy for the Brits, but they've turned it round and had a massive victory. So as usual guys, make sure to comment and let me know what you thought, and I will see you guys in the next video. Okay guys, see you later.